are these podcasts? WATP.
So Opie is getting super chats in, asking him questions about me specifically.
What the fuck?
Thank you, Doom, for making this.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my live stream. This FU goes out to Carl and Anthony. Sam Roberts has more views and listens than Kumia's radio show. It's a fact, Jack. Carl really is a disgusting ball washer. E-Rock almost has the same viewers as Kumia's radio show. Oh, damn, man. You don't like the Kumia, huh? I would say I've never listened to Carl. I think he's, honestly, I think he's just a fucking joke, if you want to know the truth.
No, if you want to know the truth, yes.
Drink.
We got it. So he's definitely not lying because he said it is the truth that I'm a joke, but he's never listened to me. Now, it's very difficult to assess what someone does and how good they are at stuff if you never, ever actually watch it. It'd be difficult, but he's going to double down on this.
Never listened to a second of his garbage. But I would say, yes, Sam Roberts has more.
Is that based on the logo? Is that why he thinks that we're garbage over here?
It does make sense.
The logo is about the shows that we're reviewing, Opie. It's not about... maybe I should have rethought that.
Opie has spoken, Carl.
Fair enough.
I kind of tend to agree with him.
You want to know the truth.
You are a bit of a joke.
But I would say, yes, Sam Roberts has more listeners than Kumia's part-time radio gig. Yeah, I would have to say that, even though not a fan of the Sam. Your drunk uncle, thanks for the $20.
So this is a guy who knows how to get Opie talking, knows how to get talking about things people are going to want to hear and get the clippers going. And Opie walks right into it every time. And I have to say, I understand Opie not watching Who Are These Podcasts when we make fun of Opie, but he should really watch our Stuttering John stuff. It's pretty good. I mean, we got a lot of material out there in the archives that he might enjoy.
I've always found Opie's bitterness to be just rooted in sadness in general. And
he's a lonely, grumpy guy who's mentally ill.
I have a hard time believing that he's never watched you, but I do believe that he probably does not go out of his way to watch you because he's so miserable.
I'm sure he does not. But I also know for a fact that I show up in the algorithm for him. When he goes on YouTube, he sees Who Are These Podcasts.
Well, when he Googles himself, I'm sure.
Yes, we're probably in the top 5. So Ant revealed his salary on WABC. And it's got everyone talking. Kevin Brennan's losing his mind over it. And someone's bringing it up to the Opster here.
I do have another FU, but let's go to Barrister 1401. All right. Good morning, Ope. It is now confirmed WABC paying Ant $150,000 per year for working only 2 hours per week. Excuse me. That means Ant is making $1,442.30 per hour. Not too shabby. I doubt it.
So I love that his first response is, he's not making that much money. I doubt that's true. It is true. That is the amount of money. But I will tell you, when Anthony reached out to me to tell me, because I was confused about how much money he was making, he used the terms base salary.
Yeah.
Because let's not forget, this was just for WABC Sundays 8 to 10, but now it's going into syndication.
Do we know how many stations he's going to yet?
I don't know yet.
It's going to be a lot.
I think it's going to be a lot.
Because
why wouldn't they syndicate
all
this
of
to
these
every station?
If you spend a second listening to AM radio at all, you will realize Sunday nights is a barren wasteland
of course.
Of nothing. So there's still some money out there for those. He's going to do really, really well.
Is Opie having a hard time seeing, or is he just really stupid? The way he reads tells me it's one of those two, possibly both. He had a really hard time with the number $1,442.30. I started with $1 million. He didn't know what was going on. It's got to be his vision, right? That's why I say squinty all the time.
Well, there's no lights on in the place.
That doesn't help, for sure. Let's find out, though. Does Opie care about this salary that he's finding out about, Anthony?
I doubt Anthony's making $150,000 to do a 2-hour show once a week. I strongly doubt that. But with that said, I don't care if it's true. And I don't care if it's false. I don't live his life. Oh my! I have nothing to do with the guy. I've been gone a week. It was glorious not to turn this thing on and hear about that scumbag.
So Opie was sick and didn't do any live streaming for a week, and it was glorious. I have some interesting news for the Opster. He can stop streaming anytime he wants. It's not how he makes his living. Right. It's not doing anything for him. He could be more productive in a lot of different ways than just turning on the live stream every morning. And the fact that he hates doing it tells me he's an idiot.
But Carl, if he doesn't live stream, how will everyone know how much he doesn't care?
That's a good point. He does have to reiterate that he doesn't care and it doesn't matter that he's making $150,000 a year, but there's no way that he is. But I don't care. But there's no way. That's way too much money. But I don't care if he does.
Well, what you have here is when he says, I highly doubt that, is him just trying to deny reality. He doesn't want to believe it.
Right.
So he's just like, I doubt it. And he's never going to revisit it and just assume it's a lie.
Can I tell you why, A, he doubts it, and B, it bothers him?
Because they offered him money and it was way less than that?
Correct. He was offered a morning radio gig a few years ago that was going to be $100,000 for him and his crew for a 5-day-a-week morning show. And Anthony's doing 2 hours on Sunday night for a $150,000 base salary. So he's like, how is that possible? Oh, because you pay talented people more money than untalented people.
Does Anthony have a manager, an agent, or anything?
Not anymore.
I can't imagine he does.
He doesn't.
Does Opie?
Opie claims he does. He claims he has conversations with his agent.
How the fuck is that possible?
There's no way that anyone's taking his calls. He's not making anyone any money for years.
That's astounding. If he has an agent and Ant's getting $150 for 2 hours and they're offering him $100,000 for a full week's work, that's insane.
Yes.
Wow.
But I highly doubt it. I mean, that would be crazy unless they have bigger plans and they're holding them.
Huh.
They're like, look, we're going to pay you $150,000 for a 2-hour show on a Sunday night. I strongly doubt it unless it's part of a bigger plan. Here, we'll give you some money now as we try to figure out more hours for you. Maybe that's it.
Now he's thinking.
But no offense. I mean, $150,000 a year. I know I got to make more than that.
He's so stupid. He's trying to say 150 is not enough. Mm-hmm. There's no way he would accept a job for 150. But the part he's leaving out is 2 hours a week on Sunday night. But I'm proud of Opie because he started realizing maybe they just needed to get Anthony on board and then they could try to figure out how they could grow that show and give him more. And I got a text from Anthony last night. He's already been given a third hour.
Congrats,
so
Ant.
he's like a month in on this thing.
You know who's probably
it's already been given. And Missy B's in the chat. She says the extra hour money will be negotiated. So it's already going to be more money than the 150 base that he started at just a month into this. And this is why you do this, to take a shot at yourself and to prove that you can do it and prove it to the company.
You know who probably is really annoyed by this too? If I had to guess, Wheeze.
Oh, shit. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, Wheeze and Opie talking about this. I can imagine.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall.
Oh, my God. Brah, that ain't right, brah. No way, brah.
No, there's no way, brah.
They would both just talk each other out of this being real.
Yeah, because Wheeze was overpaid on morning radio for a long time, and then they made some adjustments to his salary, which is why he left the station he was at and moved over.
Now Wheeze broadcasts from his apartment in Florida with his wife.
Yes.
That's barely a show.
So Opie is claiming he would need more money to do this gig.
I got to make more than that to keep all the balls, juggling, all the plates spinning. So,
Again, what is he talking about? He makes zero. Mm-hmm. Opie's going to say, I just read a $10 super chat, Carl. It's not zero. It's zero. All right, I'm just rounding it off.
Come on.
The nearest integer.
You know how many stars he has?
It's zero. I know. He doesn't talk about Facebook stars anymore. He's making $0 and trying to claim he wouldn't do a Sunday night show once a week for $150,000 a year. It's not worth my time. And what is he talking about with plate spinning? What is this guy doing during the day? He has time to be unleashed in NYC. He's always just hanging out at the beach. He'll be fishing as soon as the weather gets better. What kind of plates is he spinning?
How is this worth his time then?
That's the crazy part about this. Somehow Opie justifies doing this and says that, no, there's no way I would take a job on the radio for $150,000 a year. He's lying.
No shit.
It's retarded. His wife would be like, what are we doing? You're not going to take that money? It's Sunday night. We're just watching television. Who cares? Just do a show. This chat throws him off big time right here.
All right. Through and through. What is through and through got? Started listening to old O&A clips online. Just turned 18. Wish I could have listened live. Heard you guys got a new show on WABC. I hope it goes well. All right. Thanks for your $5, I guess.
Hope it goes well. That's awesome.
The second hour is the walkover. It's great.
You're right. It's hilarious.
Wow.
Everything just throws him off. Missy B giving us some real-time updates here. They were discussing another hour after the second show. So that was already brought up 2 shows in.
Missy, how many markets are they syndicating him to?
Oh, yeah. If you know the answer to that.
And by the way, hello. It's great to see you.
Yes, Missy, thank you for being here. But yeah, if you know anything about the syndication stuff, I'd be curious to know because I know that they own over 300 stations.
Is it with like Sinclair? What company is it with?
It's a private company. I can't remember the name of it, but it's just like a billionaire bought a radio group and runs radio because he's having fun with it.
Well, that's what radio is now. It's just collections of stations.
Right.
That's why it's so easy to be syndicated.
Well, right. And no one wants to actually pay local talent. It's way cheaper to just grab a show that's already being made and put it on your airwaves. So it's a perfect time to do this type of thing. But as I said, Opie can't stand doing this thing that he's doing for no money.
Do you think Cumia will have to resort to marrying a dude to get more listeners to his radio show? Oh, bye. Literally, I think we're going to go back to being sick because that's the only way I can avoid this stupid Anthony garbage. Literally didn't think about it for a week. Last time I did a live stream was a week ago. All right. I just wanted to turn this thing on and say hi through and through. Opie, your impressions are worth $151,000 a year. All right, thanks. I guess the thing with the haters is to rub it in my face that Anthony could be making $150,000. That doesn't get the job done.
It seems to.
Yeah, it definitely did. So Opie's another guy who has no control over his own life.
Mm-hmm.
No control over his show. He doesn't have to pop up those chats if he doesn't want to talk about Anthony. He doesn't need to, but he needs to, or else he went 5 or 6 days trying to do his other stuff, and no one paid any attention. No one gave a shit. No Clippers clipped it. We didn't talk about it, and he's right back to putting up people talking about Anthony's. And he's, woe is me. I don't want to be doing this.
Right. So going back a few years, Vic was still alive. Carl Sherrod was around.
Yep.
And he would get comments, or even one of those guys would be like, hey, why don't you do it this way? He's like, I do it my way, and I'm doing this for pleasure. This is my thing.
Right. Yeah, good
And he
point.
doesn't even have that anymore.
You're right. He's lost even enjoying this.
Right.
He's saying it out loud.
Being sick for a week is better than doing this, is what he's saying.
Is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? I've made this analogy before, but could you imagine if I came on this show and I was like, all right, I hate listening to Stuttering John, but here's a clip package I fucking painfully put together so that we could watch some Stuttering John. So I was like, no, I love this.
Yes.
Why wouldn't this be fun for you?
There's no fucking way I would sit here if you were like that.
Yeah, nobody would pay attention to it if I was grumpy about it.
You know, one of the most interesting things that I've heard recently was the Chrissy Mayer E-Rock interview.
Yes.
And one of the things that E-Rock talked about was how when Opie went to, what was the podcast network after?
Westwood.
He went to Westwood, and they were like, hey, we're going to put you with Opie. And he was like, oh, no. And then he has to go and talk to him, and all Opie wanted to do was his bullshit. We're going to build you a studio. We're going to do this. And like you said, he refuses to do anything anybody else's way.
Yep.
And then you got a guy like Anthony who's like, I refuse to do things anybody else's way, but he did it on his own in a sane way. He went about it like, I'm going to put on a professional show.
A show.
But he's going to do it his own way.
Right.
Opie did none of these things, but still claims he's doing everything his own way. It's astounding.
Yeah, and it's not working out, and he's miserable. You know, Opie likes to say, like, I made millions of dollars. How can these guys clown me? Well, the difference between me and Opie is I have less money and way more happiness. I'm enjoying my life. I love getting up every day and doing what we do. And Opie is miserable. So who would you rather be in this scenario? Like, yeah, wow, Opie, you did it your own way. And look
Vic
at you
Henley.
now. I'd rather be Vic Henley.
Well, the house looks nice. Maybe,
Missy B answered our question about syndication. Currently 13.
Wow.
13 markets already.
Okay.
That's not too shabby. Just 1 month in.
So there's probably going to be like a standard syndication fee for the show. So those are just going to start stacking up on top of each other. Awesome.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Not too shabby. But one more clip from Opie.
I go back to radio. I literally could not sign a contract for $150,000 a year, and you might laugh at that because I'm certainly not making that now. But I need a certain number to keep everything going, and 150 will not get that done. So it's not. It's really not impressive. It's better than what I'm doing, but it's not impressive. So keep rubbing it in. I guess maybe it'll hurt eventually. I don't know.
It's not the only thing he's doing. He still owns a company and does the Anthony Cumia show 4 days a week. This is just on top of that. And Opie, you could be doing whatever the fuck you think you're doing right now and also have a Sunday night radio show for $150,000 plus.
Easily. But, it is impressive.
It's not one or
because
the other.
How many other radio people, like legitimate terrestrial radio talents, are making $150,000 for 2 hours?
I'm sure you could list them.
That much?
I mean, there's like so few.
Right. There's not that many.
Right,
It's
of course.
impressive. Radio is worth nothing.
Right.
Okay? The fact that Anthony's doing what he's doing is incredibly defying the odds.
Yeah. But I will say this because that one chatter said, okay, 2 hours of work per week, $150,000 is $1,400 an hour, whatever that is. But that's not true because how Anthony told us on WTP last week, he had to get up at 9 a.m. for a sales call. Oof. So he's in meetings. They're putting him in meetings. So he's working more than 2 hours a week. He's doing a little prep for the show as well. But not too shabby.
Who are these podcasts? WA